Happy Friday, Hamilton. It is Friday, January 20th. No, what am I saying? January 17th, 2020. It's been a while since I've announced the date in the day cycle, so I'm back at it. January 17th, 2020. It is a day 4 on the day cycle schedule. Mrs. Cashman and I and the Cougar Council representatives have been talking about Martin Luther King Jr. all week, so Mrs. Cashman and I thought we would give you a special, I guess a treat, if you will, about Martin Luther King this morning, and we would let you listen to a clip from what I think Dominic read yesterday, the fact from yesterday. So it's a little clip from Dr. Martin Luther King. This is his voice. This is one of his famous speeches. So give it a listen this morning.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream.
Right. That's a really great clip. And Mrs. Cashman and I were talking about how awesome and amazing and surreal and spectacular it would be to be a part of that experience so many years ago when Dr. Martin Luther King gave that speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It is a very kind of confusing time in our history where people are really proud but really sad and disappointed in the people around the United States. But how awesome it would be to be a part of that experience, and just I can't even imagine what it would feel like to hear Dr. Martin Luther King say it the way he says it. So,
and just his message of love and peace, and to handle your problems by speaking and not by using your hands. And the things that he taught are still things that are very important to us today, and that we hope you guys will show around Hamilton, to respect all individuals, whether you think the same way, you look the same way, and also just to really spread kindness and love, and to solve our problems by talking them out.
This kind of goes back to all the core essentials we talked about earlier this year. Courage and honor. We're honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, but he showed great courage, and just knowing him is knowledge, like we talked about this month. So it's all of Dr. Martin Luther King really embodied and showed all of the core essentials. So he's a great person to honor, but like Mrs. Cashman said, it is a great message that we can really still follow and use around the halls of Hamilton and on the streets outside of your house. So.
And again, when you gain that knowledge, you learn something new that makes you better in all that you do.
Right.
And that's exactly having this knowledge and knowing facts about him, knowing about what he tried to achieve in the world, can really help us to make the world a better place.
And I don't know about Mrs. Cashman, but he's definitely been one of my role models.
For sure.
And somebody that I like to follow and learn more about.
So we hope that on Monday you guys will think about him as you are off school enjoying that day, and just take a moment to kind of honor him by showing kindness to somebody else. So, all right.
Okay.
Ooh, we start off a little serious today, kids, but it's a very important thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got some birthday kiddos here today. On January 18th, happy birthday to Ella in Miss Kasha's class. That's very hard for me to say, I'm sorry. Happy birthday to Malik in Mr. Slessor's class. On January 19th, happy birthday to Zandy in Miss Kasha's class, and to Valentina in Mrs. Jones's class. And finally, on January 20th, on Monday, happy birthday to Leilani in Mrs. Morgan's class, and to Beckett in Mrs. Abderman's class. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Abderman.
So, happy birthday to all of you celebrating a birthday on a kind of a 3.5-day weekend.
I know, nice time to have it. Well, we got some Cougar winners over here today.
Remember, if you have the Cougar from last week, you need to make sure that these people get it today. Congratulations to Shri in Miss class.
This is more, actually, in Mrs. Jones's class.
Oh, this is more? Mm-hmm. In Mrs. Jones's room. Kaylee in Miss Hollenbach's room. Jalasia from Mrs. Haas. Ethan in Mrs. Case's homeroom. And Riley in Mrs. Kinser's homeroom. So congratulations to you winners this week.
And this week I have in my little hands here all the positive office referral friends. So great job. And teachers, don't forget to try to get those positive office referrals in. We've definitely seen them down a little bit. Not judging, because This girl's definitely down on hers as well. So we just need to kind of want to refresh your mind about that and kind of remind you to get those in by Thursday to Mrs. Wallace if you can. All right, we've got PJ Brooks in Mrs. Case's class. We have Ashish in Mr. Slusser's class. We have Raver from Mrs. Morgan's room. Shima from Mrs. Morgan's room. Jaden from Mrs. Haas's room. Adam from Ms. Mann's room. And Liam from Miss Smith's class. So great job to all those good examples in our school. And don't forget to go down after announcements to get your picture taken today, please.
Announcements. We have 2 announcements. We'll start with the one we've been saying for quite a while. Jammies and Judy. Remember, that is next Friday, actually. Jammies and Judy in the morning. And Gokul in my class asked a really good question yesterday. He said, do we have school after Jammies and Judy? The answer is yes. So your parents...
100%.
Right, your parents come with you in the morning, and they do the activities, you eat breakfast, they leave, and you stay at school. So this is next morning. Remember, we would like to have an account of who's coming, so please get this back for Mr. Kilmer. And last but not least, Mrs. Morgan and Mrs. Griesemer would like me to remind you about Girls on the Run, which is registration is happening right now. So you need to make sure, girls, if you are interested in this, you are getting onto the website that is on this flyer and getting yourself registered. Your parents do need to do it online so that Mrs. Morgan and Mrs. Griesemer have all the information that they need. So,
all right. Word of the week.
Word of the week.
We have, I think you guys should all say it.
Right.
Oh,
That's
they
right.
got it. Mosaic. You got it. I know you did. So just remember that a mosaic is when you take smaller pieces, maybe of glass or of tile, and you put those smaller pieces together to make a beautiful work of art and make a design or a pattern. And you can have a mosaic on a table. You could have a mosaic on a floor. You could have a mosaic on a piece of pottery. Really, it's just any art piece that you would like to do. You could even have a mosaic that you just like to hang on the wall as a piece of art. So excellent, but little pieces turned into...
It's a great word.
Bigger picture.
I think you're going to see mosaics now that you know what they are. I think you're going to see them more often.
Absolutely,
than you think.
Yeah, they'll jump out at you. All right, I think that's pretty much all we have for today, Mr. Slusser.
It was nice to be back.
It was
Just
nice
the
to
two
be
of
back.
us.
It was. We thank you again to those students who are helping us, and we look forward to next week when we'll have Jaden and Lily with us.
And we do want to thank you, everybody, teachers, for your patience. Mrs. Cashman and I are trying to figure out the best way to make it work, and the sound and volume and all of that.
And we are working on the sound, so
and all
bear
of the
with
back
us.
and forth, and we're figuring it out. So thank you for your patience. We are really happy with Cougar Vision this year, and we thank you for your support.
Yeah, thank you so much. And on that note, please rise for the national anthem and the pledge to the flag. Have a fantastic Friday, a great early dismissal, and remember, no school on Monday.
Have a great day, guys.